In this video, we're going over the basics of the camera app on your iPhone. First, going into the app, you'll see the Photos library at the bottom left corner, a big circle which is the shutter and how you actually take a picture, and to the right you can switch between the front and the back cameras. Then right above that, you have your different modes. Quickly, let's check out every single mode starting all the way to the left with time lapse. The time lapse mode is probably one of the least used features, but it's actually pretty cool. What it does is take a picture every 30-ish seconds or so, and then it puts them all together to make one big video. So hit record and then forget about your phone for a while, and then later come back and you might end up with something really cool. Then is slow-mo, which is kind of like the opposite. It slows your videos way down. Cinematic will blur the background. This is me without cinematic turned on. And then this is me with cinematic turned on. You can see the background is a lot more blurry. Not all iPhones have cinematic mode though, which I guess technically not all iPhones have time lapse or slow-mo either. So I guess if you have any of those, consider yourself lucky. After cinematic mode, you have regular video and regular photo, which is pretty self-explanatory. But then after that, you have portrait mode, which is kind of like cinematic mode, but for photos. Next, some of the newer iPhones have spatial recording, which is just 3D photos and videos for your Vision Pro, which none of us have, so it's kind of useless. And then there's Pano, which is just a really long, stretched out photo, and it can look really cool. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, we can go into some of the basic controls like switching your cameras. Most iPhones these days have multiple cameras, and to switch between them, you can use these buttons like 0.5x or on my iPhone 5x. Then from there, you can slide the slider around to zoom even further. Now if your subject's out of focus, you can just tap on the screen where the subject is and it'll automatically focus up. And after you tap, you can swipe up or down to change the brightness or exposure. I know this is just the basics, but there are a few settings that I think you should know about. In the app itself, swipe up from the middle of the screen and the mode selector will change to your settings. From here, you can change the flash, live photos, and probably most importantly, start a timer. There's a little timer icon that lets you pick between 3, 5, and 10 seconds. Then press the shutter and it'll automatically start a countdown. Thanks for watching. If you want to go much more in depth into the camera app, check out my video next Wednesday because I'm going to go a lot deeper into settings, so I'll see you there.